is being recorded.
And now let me share.
All right. Good evening, everybody. It is Monday, June 9th at 8:03 p.m. and we're going to go ahead and call this special LNC meeting to order.
Okay, I'll call roll. Mr. Nikela,
Present.
Mr. Dar,
Present.
I am present. Mr. Redpath,
Yes.
Mr. Bost, I'll come back to him. Mr. Malagon,
Present.
Mr. Vincent, I will come back to him. Mr. Watkins,
Here.
Ms. Yanuskavich,
Here.
Mr. Chatterton,
Present.
Mr. Dassing,
I'm here.
Mr. Ford,
Here.
Ms. Hayes,
Here.
Mr. Lamb, and we know that Mr. McGee will be absent, so let me just mark that. I hate when it moves my colors. Mr. Nana, I will come back to him. Mr. Thompson,
Here.
Mr. Bracco,
Present.
Ms. Cowart,
Here.
Ms. Hallisey. I will come back to her. Mr. Hirsch, Mr. Hirsch, Mr. Johnson,
I'm here.
Mr. Martin.
Here. Having technical issues.
Okay, Mr. Mr. Weir. I'll come back to him. Mr. Wiley. Okay, I'm going to go back to the ones I came back to. Mr. Bost. Okay, we'll mark Mr. Bost as absent. One moment here. Mr. Vincent. I'll mark as absent. Mr. Lamb. I see there's people coming in. Somebody alert me if it's any of the people that we're missing.
Trendlin is, Miss Halsey is now in.
Okay. Mr. Nana. Mr. Weir. Mr. Wiley. Okay, let me mark those two as absent. So, any of those coming in, anybody I need to know about? All right, so Mr. Chair, Mr. Bost is absent, Mr. Vincent is absent, Mr. Lamb is absent, which means Mr. Martin will be sitting in for him. Mr. McGee is absent, which means that Mr. Johnson will be sitting in for him. Both Mr. Nana and Mr. Hirsch are absent.
Okay. All right, we'll see if they trickle in later. And the items of the day is consideration of Special Investigatory Committee report to be held in executive session. And with that, I will give the floor over to the Special Investigatory Committee Chair, Mr. Paul Dar.
Yes, due to legal matters, I'd like to move to go into executive session with the Special Investigatory Committee and the LNC, of course, and council present.
And Mr.
Second.
Bost looks like he just joined.
Who just joined?
Mr. Bost? Mr. Bost, are you present?
I am present.
All right, excellent.
And
Is-
Madam Secretary, I seconded Mr. Dar's motion.
Okay, one moment, and let me get to the voting template. And okay, so this would be with SIC present as well as council. Do we need to do a roll call vote?
Well, let me ask, is there any objection to going into executive session at this time?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Malgon?
I raised my hand. Apologies. I'm not sure why it's still doing that. I will not object to going into executive session. This will be the one exception I will make because I do expect that this report will be adopted by the LNC and released tomorrow anyway, which would make my objections from the past moot, but they will be objections going forward.
Understood. All right, are there any objections into going into executive session from any members of the board? Hearing none, it's unanimous. We'll now proceed into executive session.
I don't see Mr. Hall present. Is he here?
He's here.
I
Okay. Okay.
I'm here.
All right, let's see if these breakout rooms will work this time. I believe I fixed the issue.
All right, so we've
Or
risen
Mr.
out,
Vice. Yeah, I'm sorry.
of executive session at 9:39 p.m. So we'll continue to the orders of the day. And to be clear to the board, because of the nature of this special meeting and because every motion from here on out were things discussed in executive session, it'll go immediately to a roll call vote. So just to be extremely, extremely clear about that. So the next item on the list.
For the record, Mr. Chair, I feel
Mr. Chair, can we have orders of the day,
we did
please?
not get
I just
enough
want to hear
time
from Hawaii.
to
Mr.
consider
Chair, if we could
the
mute
facts.
the
And
member
not-
that is speaking right now.
24 hours is not a
This is absurd. Thank you.
Mr.
Chair, can we please call Mr. Martin to order?
We'll continue on to orders of the day, which is the adoption of the Special Investigatory Committee report. Madam Secretary, whenever you're ready with roll call.
Well, Mr. Dar
Mr.
had
Dar.
motions to make, so I need him to make his motions.
Oh, I apologize. Mr. Dar, go ahead.
All right, I sent my motions over to the secretary there. My first motion is I move that the Libertarian National Committee adopt the Special Investigatory Committee, SIC report and make it public.
Is there a second?
I
Second.
second.
Seconded, we'll go on to a ballot.
Mr. Bost,
Abstain.
Mr. Chatterton,
No.
Mr. Dar,
Yes.
Mr. Dassing,
Abstain.
Mr. Ford,
Mr. Ford, you're muted.
I'll come back to you. I'll
He
put
may
you
be
as-
on the phone. He had said he was taking a phone call.
Yeah, I'll
before.
put him as a pass and I'll come back to him. I will vote yes. Ms. Hayes,
Yes.
Mr. Martin,
No.
Mr. Malagon,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Nana,
Yes.
Mr. Nikhil is chairing. I will come back to him. Mr. Redpath,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent,
Abstain.
Mr. Watkins,
Abstain.
Ms. Januszkiewicz,
Yes.
Mr. Ford, I see you're unmuted, Mr. Ford. If you want to text me your vote, if that's easier. Mr. Ford? Because he's not answering, I'm going to ask Mr. Weir.
I'll abstain.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes. What would your vote be? Mr. Weir had abstained in your absence, but since you're here, if you'd like to change that.
What is the vote count right now, Madam Secretary?
It is 9-5.
All right, I'm going to vote yes.
As a point of personal privilege, can we have the roll call vote on the screen if possible?
Oh, I thought it was. I am so sorry. And I'm having a trouble getting alt voted. It will say alt voted next to Ford, but it doesn't mean that because I need to adjust my drop downs. Let me get this on the screen for you, Mr. Malagon.
Thank you.
Okay, just note that this alt voted is incorrect. It was Mr. Ford. So right now it is 10-4. Mr. Nikela, do you wish to vote?
As a member of the SIC, will vote yes.
Okay, one moment. Kate is wide. It's not adding up to 17. 13, 4. Is it? Yes, it is adding up to 17. Yeah, math. There's a reason I'm not a treasurer there. Okay, it's 11-4.
Motion passes. The report has been adopted and will be made public. Okay, we are now on to
I mean,
the
as a point of personal privilege, no, I guess personal, well, it's a point of order, I guess. Could we have the report when it's released with just the minor scriber errors that were noted by Mr. Dassing fixed before it goes out?
Mr. Dar.
During the vote, I was setting that up. I've already corrected the 2024 date. I'm sending that to the secretary for her to review now before going out.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm ready for your next motion, Mr. Dar.
My second motion here, understanding that the Special Investigatory Committee, SIC, focused primarily on Freedom Calls LLC, Swing Vote Strategist LLC, and various conflicts of interest for this report, I move that the SIC be directed to prepare a supplemental report that may be made public at the direction of the Libertarian National Committee, reviewing past convention expenses and credit card expenses.
All right, that'll go. Oh, is there a second?
Second,
Second.
That'll go immediately to a ballot, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Bost.
Could I see that again, please?
Mr. Dar, could you repeat it, please?
All right. Understanding that the Special Investigatory Committee, SIC, focused primarily on Freedom Calls LLC, Swing Vote Strategists LLC, and various conflicts of interest for this report, I move that the SIC be directed to prepare a supplemental report which may be made public at the direction of the Libertarian National Committee, reviewing past convention expenses and credit card expenses.
Okay.
Pass.
Mr. Chatterton,
Yes.
Mr. Dar. Oh, yeah, Mr. Dar.
Yes.
Mr. Dassing,
Doesn't even matter. Abstain, whatever.
Mr. Ford.
Pass.
I will vote yes. Ms. Hayes,
Sorry, this is about convention and what expenses?
credit card.
Oh, okay, yes.
Mr. Martin,
I'll abstain.
Mr. Malagon,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Nana.
Yes.
I'm going to skip Mr. Nikela, Mr. Redpath,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent,
Yes.
Mr. Watkins,
Abstain.
Ms. Yanuskavich.
Yes.
Okay, bunch of passes. Mr. Boss,
Yes.
Mr. Chatterton,
Abstain.
Abstain? Thank you. Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, the vote is 12-0-4. Would you like to vote?
I'll vote yes.
Okay, it's 13-0-4. I'm ready for Mr. Dar's next motion.
Next motion is resolution. Whereas the Special Investigatory Committee finds that the former chair, Angela McArdle, violated her fiduciary duty to the Libertarian Party by concealing conflicts of interest and misusing donor funds, be it hereby resolved that the Libertarian National Committee deems Angela McArdle unfit to serve on the Libertarian National Committee as an affiliate leader or as a candidate representing the Libertarian Party. Be it further resolved that the Libertarian National Committee encourages the Bylaws Committee to review and propose bylaws changes that would codify the handling of members found to have engaged in financial malfeasance and or egregious actions.
I wanted to review something. Can you say that motion once again? Because I think at least as the motion was sent to me, I could be mistaken that it was missing a word. One moment, let me look at what was sent to me. That's why I stopped my screen share. Could you repeat the motion and I will make sure I have it correctly?
All right, I have to make sure I didn't mistype it. Whereas the Special Investigatory Committee finds that the former chair, Angela McArdle, violated her fiduciary duty to the Libertarian Party by concealing conflicts of interest and misusing donor funds, be it hereby resolved that the Libertarian National Committee deems Angela McArdle unfit to serve on the Libertarian National Committee as an affiliate leader or as a candidate representing the Libertarian Party.
Okay, I misheard you.
Okay.
That was the correct motion. I'm sorry, I misheard you.
Okay.
Okay.
Point of order.
Point of order, Mr. Chatterton.
Motion is out of order for the fact that it was not noticed. This is substantively different from the considerations in the investigation report.
I believe it's in order as it was cited in the report. So that'll be my ruling. Mr. Ford.
I'm curious, since we're on debate on the motion, right?
There's
So,
No debate because these are motions related to executive session. Other actions are in order, but debate is not in order.
are we able to debate them?
Debate is not in order. It would be a simple up and down or an amendment.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. I believe these proceedings may be violating due process and
Oh my God.
I appeal the ruling that
Orders
this
of
is
the day,
part of the
Madam Chair.
agenda.
orders of the day, Mr. Chair. There's a current appeal from Mr. Chatterton. If he is appealing, that must be disposed of first.
Yep,
I am
absolutely.
appealing.
So there is an appeal from ruling of the chair on the chair's ruling that motions being made as related to the executive session items are not subject to debate.
No,
So
No, I
his,
mean,
his appeal, oh, I'm sorry, Mr.
Of my point of
Chatterton.
order, yes. So I believe Ms. Sarlis says the correct understanding. I'm appealing the ruling that this motion is in order for this meeting, given that I don't believe it was sufficiently noticed.
Understood. So the appeal is on whether or not this motion is in order at this time. So it would require, it would be a vote to sustain the ruling of the chair. So an aye vote would be to sustain, a nay vote would be to overturn the ruling of the chair. It would take a 2/3 vote to overturn. Ms. Harlow, if you could start a ballot.
Mr. Chair, if you would indulge me, I believe what you stated was incorrect.
What was it?
Appeals from a ruling of the chair are debatable. You get to speak first. Everyone else gets to speak once. You get to speak last. It requires a majority no votes to overturn the ruling of the chair, with the question being, shall the ruling of the chair be sustained?
Yeah, I do apologize.
For the record, Mr. Chair, I have my hand up for after you speak to your motion.
Okay, so my motion you said I speak first and last.
Yes.
So I do believe it's in order as it's germane to the content that was in the report and one of the report's recommendations that was discussed in executive session. So therefore it would be germane to the special meeting. That's my argument. I'll go around the room. Mr. Ford, you had your hand up. I'm not sure if that was an artifact in Mr. Vincent, Mr. Dar.
Oh, Mr. Chair, I had my hand, I just can't raise my hand. I remember I
Ford, Vincent, Dar.
well, it was it's Ford Malagon.
I'm unable to raise my hand, but I would like to raise my hand.
So I was after Mr. Ford,
Malagon.
assuming that he's not an artifact, is what I was saying. I was raising my hand to speak after you spoke to your motion.
Ford, Malagon, Vincent, Dar, Chatterton, Harlos, Martin. Let me see if there's anybody else. I think that's it. Mr. Ford, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, just briefly, two things. Number one, I don't think this was properly noticed. Number two, I just simply, call me crazy, I'd like to actually understand the ramifications of this, what legal standing it has after this LNC. I'd like to get a better sense of the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Mr. Malagon.
I concur with the chair and I call the question and all previous questions.
There's a motion. There's an objection to calling the question. Is there a second to call the question and all previous questions?
I'll second.
There's
The
a
chair
second.
still has the prerogative of speaking last, even when the question's been called.
All right,
Mr. Brown can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's correct.
I don't intend to speak again, but thank you. I don't believe there's debate on calling the question, so we'll go ahead and move on to a vote if you could, Madam Secretary.
So we're going to do a roll call one moment.
We don't want to call the question. We would like to have our debate, please.
Mr.
Well,
Chair,
no,
in
there's
order
a
for
motion
debate-
to call the question.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Let me just make another ballot. Rename. Call the question.
This does require 2/3.
Yes, it does. Mr. Bost.
No to calling the question.
Mr. Chatterton.
No. Point of privilege, your screen is not sharing to show the ballot.
Oh, thank you.
When
Thank you.
Listen, here's what I would like for you to do. Hold on, let me make sure I'm muted. Sorry.
Mr. Dar,
Yes.
Mr. Dassing,
No.
Mr. Ford.
No.
I'm going to vote yes. Ms. Hallisey, excuse me, Ms. Hayes.
Oh my God. Are we, sorry, is this on calling the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Mr. Malagon.
Aye.
I skipped you, Mr. Martin, but I will come back to you. Mr. Martin,
No to calling the question.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Nana,
Yes.
Mr. Redpath,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent,
No.
Mr. Watkins.
No.
Excuse me. Had you as pass. That was Mr. Vincent, right?
I said no.
Okay, Mr. Watkins,
No.
Ms. Yanuskavich.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Chair, it did not achieve 2/3. It's 970. Would you like to vote?
I do not.
So we are continuing on debate. And I couldn't
Correct.
raise
So
my hand. I'm in here somewhere.
you are on the docket. So Mr. Malagon was recognized. Mr. Vincent.
Yeah, I would just like to echo the sentiments of Mr. Ford. I just got back last night from the Florida convention. I have not had an opportunity to review this report, and I'd like to hear from some other people as well. I feel like politics is driving the decision and the pace of this meeting.
This is supposed, a point of order, Mr. Chair, or point something? This is
You have
supposed
an-
to be on your ruling, whether it's correct or not on the report.
Seems germane.
Okay, well, if it's to notice, then I haven't had adequate notice. I haven't had time to review it. It's a 194-page report, I believe, and I just got back from convention last night. So that's where I am.
Next is Mr. Dar.
Yes, this motion was mentioned in the report twice, near the beginning and near the end, as far as recommendations for the LNC, as far as what ramifications it has. I have to admit, since it's a resolution, it doesn't have much other than that. This is what we're saying should be done. Unfortunately, the part where we're saying that there needs to be teeth recommended to bylaws for the future. As of course, this does set a standard that people can either follow or not. And that is what the information that's in there. Thank you.
Mr. Chatterton?
So yes, as I stated, I believe this is not sufficiently noticed. The committee overview and purpose is laid out specifically in the beginning of the report, is to investigate issues of conflict of interest and business practices of the LNC. Stating that an individual is unfit for office is not falling into those categories. The further consideration is that I believe this motion has no impact. It is not binding on anyone, be it state parties, be it future conventions, and motions that have no impact, I believe, are not in order. So I will be voting no on this motion.
Ms. Carlos?
Okay, Mr. Chatterton was incorrect in something he said. Motions that mean the same thing as not making a motion are of no effect, but this motion does not do nothing. It states our opinion, which is in fact different than not stating our opinion. So he misstated the parliamentary situation there. I do believe it's in order because this report and notice said motions appurtenant, I can't pronounce it, pertinent to the report. This was recommended in the report. So I do think it's absolutely in order. It's any resolution we make, and we've made a lot of them, may not have the force of law, but it has the force of us stating our opinion. I believe the chair's ruling is absolutely correct, and I'm going to give a pragmatic reason. If for some reason this was avoided being heard tonight, immediately tonight, someone is going to make a motion to just make it an email ballot, and the result is going to be the same, because making an email ballot satisfies previous notice. But I do think notice was in fact given here. In fact, I'll note that some of the same people, because there are different people, had no problem with me not seeing the motions that were made in the investigatory report against me, and they voted for it, no problem, no appeals. So this is our past custom that when there's an investigatory committee report, that the motions that are directly related to it, and this motion is actually literally recommended in the report, is absolutely in order.
Mr. Martin, then Mr. Dassing, and Mr. Johnson. Mr. Martin?
Thank you. The notice issue is extreme, not just because of the item, but also the fact that there are members here who, through no fault of their own, have not had a chance to be able to go through the material. This is directly related to, how we act as a deliberative body. And today, I think anybody watching this can see that one side is kind of shutting the other side down. And I think that it's really important that we allow this discussion to have the time that it needs. If everybody's already made up their mind and it's a foregone conclusion, there's another problem with this, which is that it could get us sued. There's still, there's defenses, guys. We had kind of evidence kind of emerge on us that severely undermined what we all thought we knew.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
we need to be able to deal with this appropriately, and notice would have helped. And frankly, I think this violates due process and should not be considered.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Harlos?
There's been no bylaw cited for due process. Ms. McArdle is not a member of this body. And also, I object to someone with no legal experience, either as a certified paralegal or a licensed attorney.
All right, Ms. Harlos.
Okay.
That's
Thank
not your,
you.
Mr.
Thank you.
Dath.
Mr. Chair, point of personal privilege, I'd like to speak after Mr. Johnson. I can't raise my hand, so I'm just going to go with that, but about it that way.
Understood. Mr. Dassey, if you'd just like to be recognized.
No, it's nothing.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, sorry, I was talking while muted. So I would like to just make a few points here. The meeting that we are currently in was noticed on June 1st. This report went out Saturday, not Sunday, not Sunday evening, not Sunday afternoon. It went out Saturday. Myself, you, and Ms. Harlos all attended, and for the record, I chaired the LPF convention over the weekend, and we all, I know because each of us spoke in private for a few minutes on this report, so we all had a chance to read it. So anybody else speaking that they didn't have a chance to read this, I wonder, do they have access to their emails? As to the comment that we might be sued, we're already being sued. And lastly, this body has passed how many freaking resolutions over the last who knows how many years? So to claim that passing a resolution is whatever it is a ridiculous argument. So thank you.
Mr. Malagon, and then Mr. Chatterton, Mr. Bost, Mr. Watkins.
I mean, at this point, thank you, Mr. Chair. I suppose I just have 2 points of humor. I mean, Spanish is my first language, and I was able to get through this report in about an hour. 48 hours seems like ample time. So anyone claiming foul, it's just really interesting that that's the hill to die on. As a second point of humor, I suppose, I guess I would disagree with Mr. Chatterton and Ms. Harlos. If we're really going to play the game of motions having to, passing motions or motions made having to have any sort of impact, welcome to the LNC. None of the motions that we make have any actual impact or do anything, as Mr. Johnson just pointed out with the resolution. So that's just kind of funny. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Mr. Chatterton?
So, in response to Mr. Johnson's point about
I
we're already
believe
being
he
sued,
spoke once. This is
the,
on an appeal. The chair
LNC
gets to
was,
speak once.
the LNC was
Believe
sued
Mr.
over
Malcolm
bullshit that
spoke
this
once as well.
committee found to be not well based. There's a difference between that and creating very meaningful grounds of getting sued by taking irresponsible
I
action.
have a
such
point
as
of
done
order,
today.
Mr. Chair. Only the chair can speak twice.
Well, I believe we just had another speaker speak twice, so I'll allow it for this once. Go ahead, Mr. Chatterton.
I was pointing out the fact that being sued over a nonsense claim, as was the conclusion of this report in the case of the previous lawsuits against the party, and being sued for taking irresponsible action without having even consideration of the contents of the report before adoption and the pushing through of such motions. Furthermore, with the consideration of the directive of this takes action, this resolution would take action beyond the scope of this committee, and it's casting a statement on other state parties. So it's not just something of this committee's actions.
Mr. Boss?
Yes, people demonstrating their speed reading abilities is not relevant to whether or not other people have had time to read the report. And being sued twice or thrice is not twice as nice.
Mr. Watkins?
Legit.
Yeah, just to reiterate, I think
having concerns over additional lawsuits is not unreasonable. And again, to clarify, my email says, Mr. Johnson, Sunday, June 8th, 9:57 a.m. So it did go out yesterday. Some of us have lives outside the LNC and don't have time to read a giant report until after work Monday. So a little more time, I think, would have been at least appreciated.
Mr. Nana?
Call all questions.
Point of information. The
think we're-
Second.
report was sent at 3:56 a.m. Hawaii time, which is mid-morning
My God, no one
yesterday.
cares about Hawaii. Orders of the day,
97
Mr.
pages
Chair.
in
Please.
24
Please.
hours.
There is a
Hold
calling of
on,
the
hold
question,
Hold on,
Mr.
Mr.
Chair.
Martin, if you wish to be recognized, you can raise your hand, but.
And there has been a second.
Okay, so, I think we're just finished. We're gonna go ahead and move on to, where are we at? Right, a vote?
Well, we had another calling of the question
Another calling of the question.
by Mr. Nana.
All
Is there,
questions to be more specific.
As a
He
point of
called
order-
all questions.
As a point of order, can we ask if there's any objection?
is there any objection to calling all questions? Hearing none, it looks like we'll move to a vote.
Okay, thank you. Let me delete this ballot. Okay, did Mr. Dar wish to read his motion again, or is everyone clear on what we're voting on? Oh,
Point
we're
of order,
voting on
can
the
we-
appeal of the chair right now, right? Never
Motion
mind.
to adjourn.
Yeah,
That was my question.
yeah, we're voting on the appeal, and then depending upon the appeal, we're voting on the other motion. Gotcha. Thank you, Mr. Chatterton. So the question is, shall the ruling of the chair be appealed that Mr. Dar's motion is in order? Did I state that correctly, Mr. Chair?
I'm sorry, say it again?
What we're voting on is, shall the ruling of the chair be sustained that Mr. Dar's motion is in order?
Correct.
So a yes vote would sustain your ruling and a no vote would overturn your ruling.
Correct.
Thank you.
You first need to vote on the motion for the previous question, though.
There was no objection to that, Mr.
Oh,
Brown.
okay.
Mr. Boss,
No.
Mr. Chatterton,
No.
Mr. Dar,
Yes.
Mr. Dassing,
No.
Mr. Ford, I'll come back to Mr. Ford. I will vote yes. Ms. Hayes,
I am so beyond lost. I would like people to stop talking over each other. I'll just say yes.
Mr. Martin,
No.
Mr. Maligan,
I know, but I just want to make sure everyone else does. This is to sustain the ruling of the chair.
a yes vote would be to sustain the ruling of the chair.
I thought as much. Aye.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Nana,
Yes.
Mr. Redpath,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent, I will come back to Mr. Benson. Mr. Watkins,
No.
Ms. Yanuskavich.
Yes.
Okay, we had Mr. Ford,
No.
Mr. Vincent. Did we lose Mr. Vincent? Can someone please scroll through the attendee list?
Point of personal privilege, Madam Secretary. I believe he voted.
I don't think he did.
He's not here anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
he's
so
here.
sorry.
So I will put him as absent. Mr. Nikila, the vote is 9 in favor of sustaining your ruling, 6 against sustaining your ruling. Would you care to vote?
I'll abstain.
961, Mr. Chair. And since all questions were called, I will move to the motion by Mr. Dar. And that motion is on the screen. Am I sharing? Yes, that motion is on the screen. Give everyone a moment to read it since we've been through a lot since it was made. Did you only make the first part? No, you made all of it, right? Mr. Dar?
You made all of it, I believe.
I think he did.
Yeah, I made all of it. Yes.
Okay.
Had me repeat
Wait.
the first part there.
Yeah. When you asked for clarification, he reread the first part.
Okay, that's what I thought. And I just wanted to make sure. 'Cause either I misheard that he missed a phrase or he missed a phrase, but it's probably me. Okay. Mr. Boss.
No.
Mr. Chatterton.
No.
Mr. Dar.
Yes.
Mr. Dassing.
No.
Mr. Ford.
Abstain.
I will vote yes. Ms. Hayes.
Pass, please.
Mr. Martin.
No.
Mr. Maligan.
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Nana.
Yes.
Mr. Redpath.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent, are you still absent? Mr. Watkins.
No.
Ms. Yanuskavich.
Yes.
I believe we had one pass. Ms. Hayes.
I'm going to abstain out of the abundance of caution because I am very concerned about the litigiousness of people on this committee who we were in executive session with. So I will abstain for that reason only, although I think the resolution is grounded in reality.
Okay, Mr. Chair, it is 852. Do you wish to vote?
I will vote yes.
Okay, Mr. Chair, it is 952.
Motion passes.
Okay, Mr. Dar.
Madam Secretary, one quick correction. You have alt voted on line 16 for
I
Nana.
do.
There you
That
go.
is correct. I'm just going to put option 2 because I meant to make that in case. Never mind. Thank you.
Point of order, isn't there a higher threshold for a resolution?
Only for public policy resolutions such as we request that the government do something.
Or
Other
do nothing.
resolutions just require a majority.
Or do nothing.
There- I'd like to raise to a point of order a question, I guess, maybe a parliamentary inquiry. After executive session closes and the matters discussed therein are determined to be public, right? Only the succeeding motion, which would be the adoption of that, would be without debate. Everything else where we've shut down debate, that debate was probably in order because the contents were then public and could be discussed. And there was no reason to shut down the discussion, sir.
That time is supposed to be the time to discuss these motions because that's how the agenda was formatted, because it points back to the executive session where the report was held. If
You
people want to go
mean
back
the-
to the executive session to
the
discuss further,
2-minute time slot? The 2-minute time slots that we had to discuss the 100 pages that we got 24 hours ago.
Our orders of the day, please.
That was
I'm
your
gonna-
just for
Orders of the
clarification.
day,
I
Mr.
move to
Chair.
remove Austin Martin from this.
Orders of the day, yes.
I move to remove Austin
absolutely.
Martin from this meeting.
I've been waiting for that like a badge of honor, sir. Thank you. Much love.
I think we can get a little bit further if we all just get in line. Mr. Dar, please continue.
There's a point of order. I was asking for clarification if you mean
Mr. Chair, I move to remove
Wait,
Mr. Martin from this meeting.
Second.
There's a motion and a second.
Point of order, the parliamentary procedure requires a warning process to give call to order of the member, and I don't believe that's been followed.
He's been given multiple warnings.
Mr. Martin, do you promise to please not talk until you are called upon, and I'll answer your point of order?
Yes, sir. May I inquire if I'm still allowed to rise to a point of order like everyone else?
Yes, so to your point of order, my understanding is that because of the agenda, whatever we call it, the fancy word, the motions that came out of the report in executive session, regardless of the report, it's because it was discussed in executive session, those items, it still relates back to that executive session. So things discussed in that executive session, the report and everything else, because it's tied back to that, because those motions are even in order, they would still fall under that provision. Now, if the body felt it necessary to go back into executive session at any time, that is in order.
But it wouldn't be in order, sir, because executive session is to protect confidential information.
Chair,
No
order of
longer
the day,
confidential. And so there's a question of transparency.
Mr. Chair, you made your
Chair,
ruling.
That is my ruling.
We had no notice, and now we're voting
Mr.
on
Chair,
things with
you
no
made your
discussion.
ruling.
I've made my ruling clear. Mr. Dar.
Thank you, sir. I appeal the ruling of the chair.
This is dilatory, Mr. Chair.
Read the room, Mr. Austin, please.
I think it's the right thing to do, even if it's not likely to succeed.
Mr. Chair, I move to remove Mr. Martin from this meeting.
Second.
Region 1 is not sending their best, and I'm tired of pretending that they are. The best went with Heyman and
Chair, if you
Garth.
could prevent the members from directing personal frivolous attacks against other members, I'd appreciate it. I'm
Mr.
only
Chair,
trying
the
to
point of
criticize
order,
the right of the members. I don't want to talk out of order.
Hold on. All right. Mr. Martin is repealing the ruling of the chair. I will respect Mr. Martin's appeal to the ruling of the chair. The appeal is that my ruling that items are was it not sub? Can you please repeat?
Yes, sir. That the items that were not noticed previously, specifically outside of the executive session motion, which was noticed, right, would not fall under the executive session rules preventing discussion. Even though they may have been mentioned, that would be kind of a way to sneak something in without allowing discussion on it. And I don't believe that's a
What did we just
parliamentary procedure.
dispense? What did we just dispense with Mr. Chatterton's motion or Mr.
The
Chatterton?
exact same item.
Yeah, so it's already been dispensed with.
I don't believe so. It's different, sir, because I'm
Mr.
asking
Chair,
for
there's a
debate.
pending motion of removing Mr. Martin from this meeting, and I would like to see that.
I'm only asking for debate, guys. I just think
No,
that
it's
it's appropriate. It's okay if you guys don't. It's okay if
Mr.
you
Martin,
guys don't.
Mr. Martin, I'm gonna.
Mr. Chair,
okay,
we
here's what
had
we're
an
gonna do.
hour and a half in executive session to
Here's-
debate
here's-
this report.
here's what we're
Please,
gonna do.
orders of the day.
Here's what we're gonna do. Mr. Martin, I believe it's dilatory. It's already been dispensed with. If you're gonna continue to interrupt, then I've already given you a fair warning. I believe that I've been fair. And then at that point, if people want to make motions to remove it, would be in order. But I think you've been respectful to this point. Let's keep it respectful. Mr. Dar, you have your hand raised.
Yes. My second resolution, whereas the Special Investigatory Committee finds that the former chair, Angela McArdle, financially benefited from her deception of the Libertarian National Committee, and whereas the Libertarian National Committee is unlikely to recover the full amount of misappropriated funds without incurring costs that which was misappropriated, be it resolved that the Libertarian National Committee shall explore fundraising or pro bono legal counsel to pursue the recovery of funds under any legal procedures available as outlined in this report and any supplemental reports produced by the Special Investigatory Committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
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 All right, we'll now move on to a vote.
Okay, let me. Oh no, that's. Whoops, that's not the right one. Could you read that again, please, Mr. Dar, because I did not have that copied properly, and I just want to make sure everyone heard it.
Sure, just need to unmute
This is
myself again.
spicy as fuck, man. They're like making all these resolutions against.
Whereas the Special Investigatory Committee finds that the former chair, Angela McArdle, financially benefited from her deception of the Libertarian National Committee, and whereas the Libertarian National Committee is unlikely to recover the full amount of misappropriated funds without incurring costs above that which was misappropriated, be resolved the Libertarian National Committee shall explore fundraising and or pro bono legal counsel to pursue the recovery of funds under which legal procedures available as outlined in the report and any supplemental reports produced by the Special Investigatory Committee.
Second.
Mr. Cheddar and Mr. Martin, are either of your hands raised for a point of order, point of parliamentary inquiry, or anything like that?
Raised for discussion.
Mine is a point of order.
What's your point of order, Mr.
Because this is a separate issue, I have to raise a similar point of order because it's a separate issue for the record.
It's the
That
same.
this should allow discussion on this
Sir,
because
this
it's not
is-
the subject of executive session.
We've already dispensed with it.
This
In
motion was
discussion,
not part of previous questions that were called in the last motion.
Military, you were very clear at the beginning of these resolutions.
Point of order. These resolutions are separate motions. This was not on the table at the time of the last calling of all questions. This is a new question that was not on the table at the time and is in order to debate.
It was in the report, Mr. Chair. Can we please move on?
I'm going to call it dilatory because it wasn't in the report.
Thank you.
That's a different
of
question. That's
parliamentary
a point of
inquiry.
order. That is not a valid. I
You're
appeal the
making-
ruling of the chair. I appeal the ruling of the chair.
Well, my point of your point, my point of order is that it's an order. So you're appealing the ruling of the chair. All right, we'll do it again.
I would ask that you rule such an appeal dilatory.
Please.
I would second that request.
This is a new motion that was not on the table when previous
Chair,
motions
please.
and to cut off debate without allowing even a call to
Chair, I'll move
question.
to
Chair-
remove
the
Mr.
chair gets-
Calderon and Mr. Martin from this meeting.
Hold on.
This is fucking ridiculous.
Second.
Never seen someone
May I rise
kick
to-
water for someone so immoral. Jesus Christ, this is absurd.
May I rise to a point of order? Are we allowed to hit a secret agenda inside of a
Mr. Chair.
classified?
Sir, I move to remove
This is
Mr.
what's
Martin and
happening
Mr.
right now.
Calderon.
Is a secret agenda. And you guys
Mr.
didn't
Martin,
show us
I'm
the
trying to be
agenda,
very-
and now everything in the report, you
Please,
guys get to.
Mr.
move
Martin,
on
you're
with
not
it.
This is a
recognized.
violation of
You're not
basic
recognized.
parliamentary procedure. This is a new motion. It was not on the table and the question has not been called.
I move to remove Mr. Chatterton and Mr. Martin from this meeting. They've been given ample warning. They're they're stonewalling something that should have been
Objection.
done half an hour ago.
This is out of order because we're raising good faith concerns. And
Hold
just
on, hold on.
Mr.
Mr.
Chair,
Martin,
you
Mr. Martin,
can.
you're not recognized. If you interrupt one more time, I will entertain Mr. Malagon's motion. Okay? Okay. Just go back to the motion, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's not on the screen because I didn't copy it properly. But Mr. Dar did restate it, and I'm sure he'd be willing to restate it again.
Mr. Dar, could you restate your
Whereas the Special Investigatory Committee finds that former chair Angela McArdle financially benefited from her deception of the Libertarian National Committee, and whereas the Libertarian National Committee is unlikely to recover the full amount of misappropriated funds without incurring costs above that which was misappropriated, be it resolved that the Libertarian National Committee shall explore fundraising or pro bono legal counsel to pursue the recovery of funds under any legal procedures available as outlined in this report and any supplemental reports produced by the Special Investigatory Committee. Thank you.
Point of order, this was also not noticed.
All right, we're going to do it the fun, clean way. So Mr. Chatterton is, he wishes to overturn the ruling of the chair. I will speak on this. I believe it's in order, and I'm going to call the question.
I raised a different point of order as well. This is
Mr.
not
Chair, for
noticed.
fuck's sake, can we not anymore?
No more points of order.
Thank you.
All right, so
Mr. Chair, may I ask a request for information?
we're in for request for information.
Are you claiming that this motion was any part of calling the previous question?
You know what? Look, we'll do it the fun way. Mr. Chatterton wants to overturn the ruling of the chair. I spoke to why I believe it should be sustained, and I call the question. Is there a second?
Yes.
Second.
All right, so we're going to vote on whether or not to call the question, and then we'll vote on whether or not to overturn the ruling of the chair, and then we'll vote on the motion.
Is there an objection to calling the question?
Hearing no objection, we'll move to the vote on my ruling, whether or not it's sustained.
Okay, I will replace your votes as I say them. I just
object to
copied.
the calling of the question. This was a new motion and speakers were not recognized in order.
I objected to.
Okay, we'll vote on that.
One moment.
Mr. Chair, is it appropriate to have a point of personal privilege at this moment unrelated to the vote?
Yes. Very quickly.
I have to get up for a flight in 2 hours on behalf of the Libertarian Party. So if Mr. Weir is available, I would ask him to take the chair at this point. I can't tell from the screen.
I believe he is. I will call upon Mr. Weir in your absence, Mr. Ford.
Thank you very much, all. I wish you all good luck, and I would ask you to wish me good luck this week.
Good luck,
Good
Mr.
luck.
Ford.
Good luck,
Pat. Thank you.
Okay, this is on calling the question on Mr. Weir's,
Mr. Chatterton.
Mr. Chatterton's, excuse me, point of order.
That was moved by myself.
And, oh, you are correct. I'm like Mr. Ford. I want this meeting to last forever. So, Mr. Boss.
Whichever vote extends discussion. No.
Yes. Remember, your old votes are on here. A no vote would overrule the turning of the chair. A yes vote would sustain. Mr. Chatterton.
This is the, okay, no, I'm sustaining the ruling.
Mr. Dar.
Isn't this calling the question? You just said
Yes.
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it?
Yes.
Am I? Okay, I'm sorry.
Just to clarify, because you
It
said that-
is. It's calling the question. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm sorry. I'm getting punch happy. Mr. Boss, this is in fact on calling the question. Does your vote remain no?
My vote remains no.
Mr. Chatterton.
Also no.
Mr. Dar.
Yes.
Mr. Dassing.
No.
Mr. Weir.
I'll vote no.
I will vote yes. Ms. Hayes.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Mr. Martin.
Nope.
Mr. Malagon.
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Yep.
Mr. Redpath.
Wait a minute, you passed Hannah?
Mr. Nana.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Redpath.
Yes.
Mr. Redpath, yes.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent. Oh, he's absent. Mr. Watkins.
No.
Ms. Januskavich.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Chair, it is 961. Your vote will not make a difference. Do you wish to vote?
No, I'll abstain.
Oh, you did abstain. I think I read. Oh, I had that from the former vote. Okay, so we are back on the appeal from the ruling of the chair. I can't raise my hand, but I would like to.
Ms. Harlows, and then Mr. Dassey.
Okay, so Mr. Chatterton kind of combined two into one. One of them is on an issue that was already disposed of, which is the notice issue, which I'll just once again say that he had no problem with me getting 2 hours notice of motions against me. So we do have a custom, but these are also incidental main motions. And in our policy manual, the notice requirement for original main motions is 5 days. not incidental main motions. So there literally is no notice problem. It's whether or not the body thinks it's reasonable. The body has already, by sustaining the appeal before, has felt it was reasonable. So that's up to the body. But if anyone's going to point to the 5 days in the policy manual, I will say that is for original main motions and not incidental main motions. But his other appeal, in which he said was different, was that all previous questions were called, but this wasn't a live question yet. But the chair never declared this was a live question. So this is a completely previous frivolous appeal. He's appealing something the chair never said. The chair never said this question was called. What the chair said was that debate was not going to be permitted outside of executive session. And I think that's been borne out by the fact that various members of this committee have basically threatened pending litigation. So whether they intended to or not, they've proven the case as to why all discussion of this needed to be an executive session. If they hadn't decided to make that claim, which I think is foundless, I could be wrong, but I happen to think is foundless, then perhaps I wouldn't have this argument. But they made the argument themselves as to why this debate had to be an executive session. I'm done.
Mr. Dess.
I'm sorry, it's probably not in order right now. I had a question about this motion, Mr. Dar's motion that he's making. I'm not trying to grant, I'm just confused. Like, it wasn't the one that was in the report. This is kind of different wording. Does that matter pertaining to this?
It's germane to the report.
Because the report, the motion that this was in, because you guys keep saying this was in the report, this motion, but it wasn't quite, because this one's saying one thing that it should, and it's saying that, but in the report it said it was open. Like, we should be open to it, but now this is saying we should investigate. Does that make sense? Like, I just know it's different.
Well, I can't answer that exactly, but I do believe it's germane to the, because it's germane to the report, is an action being taken based off the report, which is essentially what we've done with the previous motion. Mr. Martin.
Mr. Chair, I'm extremely concerned about what I'm seeing, because it appears that all we need to do is find some excuse to go into executive session, and then everything germane to that can go through without a debate, without any process. You're getting good questions. We have members that are elected to do this job, to make sure that our members' best interests are seen. The politics is getting in the way. There's a huge contentious fight here that in order for us to properly understand, we need to follow procedure. And in this case, I don't think procedure is being properly followed. I think we're in really uncharted territory here, where there are basically motions being moved without discussion or debate based on, it's not just your ruling, sir. There seems to be a kind of coordinated effort by some.
This goes beyond the appeal, Mr. Chair.
I agree.
And no, this is directly. I believe this is directly related, but I'll stop that line of inquiry if that's not appropriate. I do see the problem, though, that if this agenda, it's not just about the notice factor. This is about the discussion angle and about the fact that there's differences in these things. They're just being shot from the hip out of a report. Why does that make it okay to shut down discussion? The discussion was about whether or not we should make the report public. It's public. These are different actions. This is not confidential information anymore that we can't discuss. And so the idea of shutting this down is a slap in the face.
Mr. Chair, we already decided on the debate.
Our members
issue.
deserve better. Do better. We can get real work done, guys, and instead we're doing this bullshit.
Mr. Chatter.
Thank you.
So I would disagree with the characterization. This is an incidental main motion. As has been pointed out, this is a distinct motion, is not what is cited in the report. And this is an additional action beyond the adoption of the report. And it is also an additional action beyond the recommendations from the report, as was pointed out. And I would further echo Mr. Martin's sentiments that These items were not allowed to be discussed in executive session. 2 minutes out of an hour to debate an item of 100 pages and the subsequent recommendations that involve legal action of the party is irresponsible by this board, and this is a travesty.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I would argue that 2 minutes out of an hour and a half, for the record, is hardly on a meeting that was noticed June 1st for issues that we have discussed in executive session over and over and over again this term. And this year alone is hardly no time for debate. We've already voted to adopt this report. I would like to move all current questions and specifically, since you, sir, ruled that we were not allowed to debate these motions in the report outside of executive committee, I would like to move all current and questions and previous questions as per the report.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Point of order, it's not in order to call questions not yet on the table.
Mr. Chair, the only motions on the table, as far as I know, unless Mr. Dar has one I'm not aware
That'd
of,
be this.
that was the last motion.
Okay, that is not necessary. Mr. Boss, then Mr. Dar.
Yes, it's been mentioned several times that someone has threatened legal action on this committee. I don't know if I was asleep. I didn't hear any threats of legal action.
Mr. Chair, can I have your indulgence just to address very quickly that one comment?
Go ahead.
I did not claim that anyone on this committee claimed to sue us. I claimed that there were threats that other people might, that we are exposing ourselves to, and anyone can go back and listen to the recording and hear that.
It wasn't necessarily at you, Madam Chair or Secretary. There were multiple comments that were very vague. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boss.
Mr. Dar, and then that's it.
I was going to call questions, but if it's quicker to go to Mr. Chatterton, we can do that.
He's already spoken.
He's already
Yeah, he's
spoken.
already spoken. I'm not gonna let it go around twice again.
Okay. All right, then I do not need to speak any further.
All right, we'll go on to a vote.
What is this, as a point of parliamentary inquiry, what are we on now? Because this has just gotten so ridiculous. I'd like a refresher.
We are on sustaining the ruling of the chair.
Mr. Chair, what was that ruling again for those who may or may not be up to speed? 100%. I am, but just for the record.
That this motion is in order. The Dar motion is in order.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'll go to a vote. Mr. Boss?
No.
Mr. Chatterton?
Correction, abstain.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chatterton?
No.
Mr. Dar?
Yes.
Mr.
Point of
Dassey?
personal privilege, sorry, point of personal privilege. I need to jump out of this meeting. I cede to Miss Halsey.
Okay. Mr. Dassey?
No.
Mr. Weir?
I'm gonna abstain.
I will vote yes. Ms. Hasley?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
No.
Mr. Maligan?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Nana?
Yep.
Mr. Redpath?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Vincent, are you still absent? Mr. Watkins,
No.
Ms. Januszkiewicz.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, it is 942. Do you wish to vote?
I will vote yes.
Okay, so Mr. Chair, it is 1042.
All right, the chair's willing to sustain. We'll now move on to a vote of the DAR motion.
Motion to adjourn.
It is not in order at this time.
Second.
It is not in order during a vote.
Mr. Boss?
I thought we were voting on this already. Abstain would have been my vote for this.
Your vote wouldn't have made a difference before anyway, if that matters. I mean, if you had voted no to, you know what I'm saying, I hope.
That's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, Mr. Chatterton,
No.
Mr. Dar,
Yes.
Mr. Dassing,
No.
Mr. Weir,
I vote no.
I will vote yes. Ms. Halsey,
Yes.
Mr. Martin,
No.
Mr. Maligan,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Nana,
Yep.
Mr. Redpath,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent, I believe, is still absent. Mr. Watkins,
No.
Ms. Januszkiewicz.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, it's 951. Do you wish to vote?
I'll vote yes.
It is 1051.
Motion passes. All right, is there anything else on the docket, Mr. Dar?
I do not have any further motions.
I move to adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Well, if there's no further business.
I second.
We just adjourn.
Any opposition to adjourning? Hearing none?
Mr. Dar has his hand up. I don't know if that was
That was just pointing out I had no further motions for us to adjourn.
got it.
We are adjourned at, what time is it?
Wait, is it too late to
10:45, sir.
remove Mr. Maligan?